Hey guys, Sean Savage here from Streaker Marine. Today we're on board the Yellowfin 7.0 extended hardtop. We're out commissioning the boat, make sure it's all working for its new happy owner. Prior to doing that, we're going to go through some of the features and just show you some of the things that Yellowfin have done in this new generation hardtop that may or may not suit you for your next purchase. The first thing I love to see in the Yellowfins is simplicity at the transom. We have a bait station that has storage. If you're a Yellowfin follower, you might remember that those tackle drawers both sides. That's more than enough tackle drawers with 4 there. And that storage with a shelf is a really good initiative, so we can put some extra gear in there as well. Usual suspects on the bait board, we've got the rod holders that are welded on rather than they're bolted on, and we've also got the drink holders either side. When we look at the port side here, we have a live bait tank that we'll get running in a moment. We also have a deck wash on this side as well. One thing I like about these new extended cab models from Yellowfin is these wider side decks. Somewhere that I can fish, I can use as for just general boating, and I have just that really nice wide sort of space there. Initially, the southerner versions were narrower and they didn't have this X-deck treading. So this is a lot more appealing to me. We have these exploding fish rod holders. So they're the ones that spin 360 degrees. So you're not just fixed in one position. You can put them in and turn them and do whatever you wish. Access and serviceability to Yellowfins is always a great feature. So in the back here, we have our access into our battery systems, main looms, harnesses, circuit breakers, and any shut-off valves that we have for live bait tanks and deck washers. To the starboard side, we have our transom door that also integrates into our dive ladder as well. So with the dive ladder, simply pop that over, in she goes. Diving, water sports, better access for the bigger fish. Whatever you want to do, it's been accounted for. Something I like about the Yellowfins is they've separated the dive door to where our seating configuration is. So if you do have the rear lounge in here, it stops as a 3/4 and it doesn't stop any access getting in and out of the boat. As we start to make our way forward, we can see these massive seat boxes either side. So one is a 75-litre split lid esky. So we can use this for our general fishing for the day, or also our supplies, food and drink. The other side is a storage compartment that has 2 access doors. So one door here, one door here. It's one big assembly. So if we were running like a 36-volt electric motor, we could run our battery system in there, or just general storage. The seat upgrade that Yellowfin have done has been substantial. Their older seats were a bit more generic and agricultural. These days, these new seats are one of the best-selling features for me off the boat, because you spend all day sitting in the things, they might as well be comfortable. We have suspension seating, which as a standard package in a boat like this is a real treat. Suspension seats just give you that absorption reduction when you're in the seat for a very long time. We're designed to be long-range game fishing in these boats, and to do that, we want to come home comfortable. Now, one thing you will notice, because this superstructure of the hardtop's very wide, we've got ample space, these are huge seats, but we have so much room to walk through the middle of them. So it's not like we've had to reduce the seat size or reduce our entry from the aft forward. We have plenty of room between those seats to make access forward. While you're there, we have our windscreen, sliding windows, one either side. We have utilized the top of the hardtop here with our stereo, VHF radio, Yamaha instruments. The other thing that they've done in the hardtop, which is new for Yellowfin, is this grab handle up here. Really rate that. Such a simple idea, but because we have such solid head height in these boats, it's not something we're going to bump our head on unless we're Wilt Chamberlain. But other than that, we've got plenty of room in here. Casting our eye over the dash here, we have our glove box, which is frictioned up, so we've got plenty of room. It's carpeted, it stops condensation. We have a phone holder, phone charger, access here for a second screen if that's what we would like. Another phone charger. That's a 16-inch Garmin. Getting over to the dash here, we have our full 12-volt instruments. So that is our live bait tanks, our deck washers, etc. It's very clean and easy to see. We know that when we push it, it goes green. And then when it's not powered, it's red. Very, very simple. Our our anchor winch circuit breaker here. So I like this because what they've done is put the circuit breaker with the live up and down button. What that means to me is I don't have to keep this live 24/7 with a circuit breaker in a different position, which means if someone's walking past or the kids knock it, the anchor doesn't fall down, I can isolate it next to this switch here. Very clever. We also have our zip wake trim tabs. Our zip wakes are fantastic. They will just balance the boat while we're underway. So we're going to get going now just in a moment. And when we're traveling, the boat will sense movement and it will adjust these two little plates at the back of the boat to create a little bit of friction, and that friction will adjust the balance of the boat. One last thing with the seats, the armrests lift up, but this bolster is very, very clever. So if you're sitting in the seat, you're comfortable and everything's good, the suspension seat's doing its job, but when you want to stand, that's extra back support, but also more room in this helm area as well. Works really well. If we're going to do some overnight trips, we do have a full lockable cabin door. It's a roller door system. This has the full center bunk. So if you look in there, it's all one giant bed. And under that center bunk, we also have a electric macerator toilet. So you don't have a holding tank as such. You've just got a electric toilet in there, which will be easily able to use. All right, so we're going to put the boat into gear. We didn't touch on the engine. We're running a Yamaha 250 horsepower 4-stroke. It's probably the most common engine that these boats get fitted with. It's a 4.2 litre V6. It's digital throttle and shift, so there's no mechanical mechanism going from the control box to the engine. It's digitally driven. And we also have electric steering, which just has such a nice feel to it. It's not a serviceable item. Like hydraulic and mechanical steering, it always feels the same, and it gives you the option to integrate so much more things through the boat, like electric autopilots and joysticks controls. So we're going to go through some rev ranges. We'll come up, we'll have a little look around, and we'll go through how the boat performs. When we're driving a boat like this, one thing that we like to do is have full control by having one hand on the wheel, one hand on the throttle. If I put my hand on the top here, I've got access to my power trim and tilt, which is basically adjusting the height of the boat, height of the engine, which adjusts the balance of the boat when we're underway. What I'm looking for when the boat takes off is I want it to get up nice and flat onto the plane and be as efficient as possible. I don't want it to lift its bow up and carry around too much. I want the transition from idling to planing to be nice and effortless. So one hand on the wheel, one hand on the throttle, little bit of acceleration, and we can see that there's just little to no bow lift whatsoever. We're doing 3,000 RPM, which is my gauge up here. We're doing 30 kilometers an hour, and we're only using 24 liters an hour. So this is a really nice pace. The boat's settled, it's comfortable. It doesn't feel like it's still in that transition stage from idling to planing. I'm on top of the water. I'm using very little fuel. So when I say that, my economy, which is my fuel economy, right now is 1.7 kilometers for every litre. So that means if I put 10 litres of fuel in right now, we would travel 17 kilometers in distance. So that's enough for 32. So this to recap, 3,200 RPM, 43 kilometers an hour, very little trim. The balance of the boat is exceptional, steering's light, life's good. We'll go to 4,000 RPM. You hear that note change in the engine. It's a bit throatier now, it's looking for a bit more rev. That is 4,000 RPM, 56 kilometers an hour, and we're still getting 1.5 kilometers per litre. So again, 10 litres of fuel, 15 kilometers in distance. The boat's still very settled, very hard to upset it at this speed. You can sit at this speed at 56 kilometers an hour with the wife and kids all day and be very comfortable. Turning the boat now, the boat's sitting very level. Those zip weight trim tabs are counteracting that movement through the boat, so it turns very clean, doesn't lean over when it turns, it sits flat. We'll go to 4,500 RPM. That's 4.5. We are doing 67 kilometers an hour, 68 at 1.1 kilometers per litre. So 10 litres of fuel, 11 kilometers in distance, but we're just under 70 kilometers an hour. That's 4,700 RPM. We'll go full throttle now. $5,600 RPM, 82 kilometers an hour, and a kilometer per litre. Staying at this rev range, we'll turn it in. No cavitation, can't hear anything through the engine of any aeration. Boat's very level, I'm doing little to nothing. We'll flick it from left to right. No prop slip, boat's very happy to do it. So now we'll slow back down and we'll see how slow we can go and still hold this planing. Yeah, it's about 2,000 RPM, 2,300, which is 25 kilometers an hour. So the boat's still just on the plane at 2,000 RPM, 20 kilometers an hour, which is pretty bloody impressive. Last thing we'll do for the game fishermen out there is we'll reverse into a swell. We'll see what our steering's like when we're reversing and how much water we're getting over the pod at the back there. So we'll go into reverse at a nice pace. So that's comfortable at the moment at 1,400 RPM. We'll turn left. Turns really well, it feels very directional. You'll find a lot of, well, when I say a lot of boats, some boats won't like turning too hard or responsive in reverse. They seem to wander around a little bit. So let's drop the hammer. Yeah, it's starting to cavitate a little bit there. That's 2,700 RPM. We're doing 9 kilometers an hour in reverse. So that's actually quite impressive, but we'll see the proof in the video. Last thing we'll do is stability. So we'll get the cameraman and myself on the same side, sit on this side deck here, and we can feel that, I mean, you can't probably see it that well, but if you have a look at the internal freeboard that we have here from the hull to the waterline, there's still, you know, very little movement throughout the boat. Remembering the boat is a self-draining hull as well. And what that means is if you had a big bucket of water and poured it on the boat, the water's going to naturally drain out of the back of the boat, not hold in the bilge. All the floor water, all the floor height's going to drain directly out the back. So if you have any water come into the boat or you're reversing into the swell like we were there, if there's water on the floor, that will naturally drain out by itself, which is great for a game fishing boat. So I hope that helps. If you are boat shopping, we have a full range of products at Streaker Marine. Would love to help you through, show you through some of our products. And if you've made it this far in the video, we really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back with more boats shortly. Thanks.